So I guess we're here at Chop It Up with Hudson again. I don't even know what episode we're on anymore, but today we got Eric with us here at Hudson Forest Equipment. Eric, you're one of our fabricators. You've been with the company for a long time. What would you say some of your roles are here?
In a nutshell, I pretty much overlook and see a lot of the fabrication process, a lot of the R&D process. Pretty much had my hand in a lot of the new equipment in the last 5 to 7 years.
Yeah, we put you into kind of more some of the R&D. It's kind of you just morphed into that, if you would.
Yeah,
into
a lot of repair work.
a lot of repair work and stuff that you've done, figuring out some problems. And we have customers that come in and sometimes give us local guys to our main manufacturing that might have a project they have in mind that they want to get done that's not something that we normally do. You're kind of the guy to go on that.
I'm usually the one that goes and ahead and does that.
What's some of your background? You do firewood too, don't you?
Yeah, I have a firewood processor, one of our Brew XTs.
Yeah.
It's a great machine.
Right.
My daughter actually runs it. It's pretty cool. Yeah, I sell quite a bit of firewood. I work on stuff outside of here. And
Yeah.
it all just kind of fits together that way.
How'd you get started selling firewood?
I tried it years ago when I was a teenager, did all right with it. Then just decided that, we got a bigger house and we had room for a wood stove, so we put a wood stove in, and I bought a log load, and a guy that I know needed wood. I had extra, so I sold it to him. Then I figured, well, I can sell enough to pay for my wood. Then it just kind of exploded from there.
Right.
Next thing I know, you're buying processors and conveyors and dump trucks.
All right. So how's your heating bill now?
A lot of time, that's it.
Yep. Time.
No money, just
Time and
time.
effort. Yep.
So,
What would you say our shop life is here, working with the guys? I mean, I know I'm in the shop some, but I mean, you're here every day working in the weld shop and the fabrication shop and stuff like that. What's a normal day around here?
normal day for we start at 6, we work 4/10, so we get here 6 o'clock in the morning. We stay till 4:30, Monday to Thursday, which is great. And you pretty much show up in the morning, shoot the breeze for a few minutes, get rolling, and see where the day takes you, for me anyways.
Right.
Usually I get started on my normal things, and once or twice a week, a couple oddball things get thrown in the middle and hit it head on and go from there.
Is there a tool or something here that you probably couldn't do your job without?
Definitely a welder.
Yep. So that's the heart. That's the heart
Yeah.
right there is the welder.
But no, we have plasma cutters, shears, drill presses, bridge ports. All that stuff plays a huge role in what we do here.
Right.
A lot of specialty tooling that really makes the pieces fit together.
Yep, that's pretty neat. So with your wood business on the side, how has that helped you with some of the equipment that we offer here?
Oh, it's great. So you can run stuff out in the parking lot out here for 5-10 minutes and think you're great, but you want to run one all day, then you really see where, oh geez, if this was just a little bit different, you could really make a difference and increase productivity and not break your back so hard.
Yep, that's pretty neat.
It's great owning one to be able to, run it out on real world scenarios to try to bring it back into the shop. And
Right, definitely something to
Apply
be
it.
said probably for having a magazine telling you what it is or the internet telling you what it is, and then you're running it yourself, so you know what it is.
exactly.
That's kind of neat.
Yeah,
Yep.
it's definitely, in my opinion, it's huge. It's huge to own that thing, to do what my job is here. It makes it 100 times easier, especially when you do go to trade shows and the people want to talk to you and give you suggestions. It kind of prepares you already for what they're going to ask you, because a lot of the same people have the same issues or want to see things different. You know what I mean?
Right.
It really is
Yep.
beneficial.
That's actually something I was going to bring up. I know we just did a trade show and you were there. I mean, you're starting to do a couple of trade shows with us, help out the team.
Yep.
So yeah, you've noticed that with the people that you're talking to, is that you can relate to them, I guess, one-on-one.
Yeah, for sure. For me, that's probably the best thing I like doing a trade show, is you get to talk to real people that really want to use this stuff, and that it's extremely beneficial to the R&D process of building this machinery. Getting the consumers' feedback.
Right.
Even on stuff that we've been building for years, they'll tell you, well, geez, if you just did this a little bit different. And a lot of times the stuff we tried and figured out that you couldn't do, but a lot of times it's something simple that just gets overlooked, and until you're using it in a real world situation, you don't always, see it.
Right. Yeah, I definitely know from my own experience, a couple of the changes that we've done, even like on our sawmill end of things, that's been feedback from customers where they've either invented something on their own to make their
Right.
job easier, and they're like, hey, what do you think about this? And I'm like, well, yeah, it does make sense.
Yep.
You know? So it's nice getting that feedback from the customers and kind of adapt something a little bit differently.
At the end of the day, that's what we're all here for, right?
Right.
Just to try to make a happy customer.
It's definitely what it is. I mean, our customers is what lets us do what we enjoy doing. So, what do you think with the job here? If you had a perfect day, what would a perfect day be?
Perfect day? That's a good question. No, most days are good days. There's obviously, like any job, you're going to have a couple days here and there where you just want to call it quits and go home, but you just got to put your head down and bust through it. So a perfect day, I would say, would be the weather is a big thing for me. Not 90 degrees. Like 55, 60 degrees in the shop. Quiet. Not a lot of scuttlebutt going on, and just start a project in the morning and have it done by the end of the day. That is the perfect day for me.
Right.
When you can get something rolling first thing in the morning and have it done and using it by the end of the day or the next day even, that is a perfect day.
That's got to be something pretty rewarding for you.
It's very extremely rewarding.
Know you built something, and then you can look at it and be like, yeah, that's
Yep.
what I had my hands on and built, and see that at the end of the day. So,
That for me, that's probably the thing I like the most about this job is, I can see something in my head, or you can see something in your head. We can talk about it, and usually within 24 to 48 hours, you can have something pretty close to
right.
what you're discussing and
Right.
actually see it and touch it.
Right.
That
actually reminds me of something. Just yesterday, we had Uniforced, one of them live decks that we had there. Leg must have got hit by a machine and bent, and I'm trying to beat this thing out and figure out what we're gonna do because we got to bring it to a trade show. And then all of a sudden, I think you might even made a suggestion: just stop and build one.
Right.
Like, oh yeah. Why am I fighting something when we got the tools here? I could just stop and build another one.
Yeah, I mean, within reason, we can make almost anything to do with anything that we have here on a drop of a hat.
Pretty neat to be able to do that. So.
Yep.
You had a new wood splitter that you came up with, the HVH wood splitter.
Yep.
I mean, it's a wood splitter that's been out in the market for many years, but what was your thought pattern behind that one?
I know you and I have talked about it for a couple of years now, on the fence about trying to build one or not, because it's so hard to compete in
With
that
the
industry,
overseas market,
with
yeah.
the overseas stuff. I don't know, I finally just kind of thought about it, figured out ways to cut out cost without compromising the quality of the unit. And actually, I was building a splitter for another machine that we're actually working on now, and I had a bunch of scrap on the floor. I had to clean it up. I was putting it on a pallet, and just the way a couple pieces were laying together, I was like, geez, I wonder if that would work. So I put it up on my sawhorses, kind of half-ass clamped it together and tried it, thought about it. And it was actually one of the days that the owner, Dan, was here. He come through and was kind of curious as to what I was doing, like a little kid playing with blocks. And I told him that, I think if we tried doing it this way, it would save a lot of the labor to get us into that market to build a vertical horizontal splitter for a homeowner. And he pretty much said, yeah, go for it, So I remember I talked to you a little bit about it too, and just decided to build one.
All right.
Figured we'll get it going, and if it's too expensive, that sucks. If not, perfect. Mission accomplished.
Right. Yeah. Well, from the sounds of it, I think we've got some little bit of work cut ahead of it for it, but then it took a really good welcoming when we released it at that Woodsman show, and sold some units there, and then had some follow-up units sold right after that. So it's, I think it's going to be a home run.
Yeah,
So,
I'm very satisfied with it. I think it's a nice looking machine.
it is a nice looking
It
machine.
works very well. The functionality of it is spot on. And
Right. So, what do you think about our colors? I know we kind of got locked into them just by that's what it was, but red and black.
I like them.
Yep.
They go together good.
And I know the wedges come up a little bit because and our dogs, so we're doing like the cautionaries in yellow, stuff like that. I had some kickback on our colors. It's crazy what people think of, but
I like the red and black. The yellow is so-so.
it's kind of gaudy. It sticks out, but I think that's the safety point of it. But figure the customer, they can just rattle can if they don't like it.
Right. Well, yeah, that's on them.
Yeah, right.
I like the red and black. I think they go well together, especially when you're doing, well, like for these units, for instance, the commercial one versus the homeowner style one.
Right.
It's good to differentiate it,
differentiation. Right. It's kind of neat too, like going back to our roots with that Oscar, hanging onto that Oscar frame with the 4-post cage, and I mean, had a kick butt design then, and we really haven't veered too far from it.
It's hard to beat it. You know?
It's hard to beat it. You know, we found other ways to do the same thing, and I just did a video. I did a promo video for the HFE 33. I think cuts like butter.
Yep.
I was really happy with that.
Yep.
So, and that's a pretty affordable mill for the homeowners, and
Right.
you know, someone was just looking to get in the market on it, and it literally, I was just pushing it with my fingers, and the thing was going right through. I was like, this is nice.
Yep. Nice
Yep,
and
we could
smooth.
do that. Right. And I might have, you know, been a little behind the 8 ball with the video guy because I didn't even have it set up all the way. So I'm like, quick, get this run together. So, I mean, we threw that thing together in 10 minutes, and I was cutting with it.
Yep.
So, do you remember when you first started?
April of 2008, 17 and a half years.
How did you end up getting a job here? Was it?
So I was a year out of high school. The economy was terrible in 2008.
Yeah.
So there wasn't a lot of options. I was working on a farm full time, and one of my buddies had just got a job here, but he was going into the Army. So he's like, you know, there's going to be an opening if you're interested. And actually the farmer I worked for, he knew Dan pretty well. And they actually came to the farm, talked to me, and wanted to know if I would be interested in coming down and seeing what we were doing here. So, yeah, I'll check it out. So I came down. I was 19 years old. Came down, walked through the place, never even knew most of this was here, and started about a week later. Been here ever since.
Yep. Yeah, it's pretty neat.
Yep.
Yeah, that's it sounds just about like Rick Dan too. So, oh, all right, you know a guy? I'm gonna go talk to him.
Yeah, that was basically exactly how it went. And
Right.
I never planned on doing this kind of work when I was that age.
Right.
I always wanted to be an equipment operator, but yeah, this just kind of worked out. And,
You get to run equipment here too, you know.
oh yeah, for sure.
So we get a little bit of extra on that.
Yeah, it's
Of course, your side work, running your processor and everything else, you get to do it as long as your daughter lets you.
yeah,
You
exactly.
know, get some time on it.
As long
So
as she'll let me play with it, you know. But
Yeah.
no, that was basically how that worked out, and just kind of progressed from there. You learn a little bit more every year. You get a little more into it, and next thing you know, you got 10 years in, and you're like, yeah, I'm digging this. I want to get in deeper. And,
yeah,
it just kind of goes from there, and here we are.
yeah, that's pretty awesome.
Oh.
So, yeah, well, I appreciate you chatting with me here, and you know, we go back a ways too, so it's kind of neat having guys you met, because I don't even know if I was hanging out with you before you even got your job here through
Yeah.
mutual friends.
Yep.
But yeah, back in our younger days. But
Yep.
it's great working with you, and appreciate everything you do and all the shows that you've been coming to and stuff like that. So
Absolutely.
yeah, and I'm pretty excited for some of these new equipment ideas that we got.
Yep.
Getting new technologies on things too. So what do you think about some of the technology factors?
Technology. So that's a double-edged sword to me. No, I think it's great, but I think also too that too much is not so great. I truly believe like sometimes the more simple mechanical approach is the better one in the long run.
Right. And I would have to agree with you, because a lot of our customers, the simplicity of being able to see our equipment and actually understand how it works
Yep.
is something. But I do understand some of the more technical guys that are, looking for higher end stuff. They're buying them computer set works and things like that,
sure.
where they just
Like
want to
that, I think
hit
is
some buttons
fantastic.
and go.
The set works on these mills is great.
Yeah.
I think a lot of the technology is great. Well, like I said, there's still a niche, I think, for mechanical systems.
Right. Well, that's why we've, rooted ourselves too in some of the structural steel builds that we have and
Right.
things like that. So, I mean,
Like
they're
what
tried,
makes-
they're true.
What makes me excited and happy is being able to build a piece of machinery that, one, is affordable, works very well, and most people that buy it are going to be able to fix it and maintain it.
Right.
To me, that's what gets me excited
Right.
to do
Oh,
my
I'm
job.
sure you've noticed it at trade shows. You're
Right.
talking to guys that got something that's 20, 30 years old,
Yep.
and it's a Hudson product, and they're still running it.
It's funny. So this year at the Woodsman's, everything kind of flip-flopped. So, previous years, we always kind of caught a little flack from some of the people looking at our stuff because we're not so far into the technical stuff with like electric over hydraulic systems and all that. And, we've tried it and they do work well, but there's not a great longevity in that. And it's funny now to come back this year, it's gone the other way where so many people were complimenting our machines for being simple and mechanical versus with all the electric and all that on it, because they've tried it. It's been out in the field for so long now where, those machines are becoming 10 years old with all that on there, and they're starting to show the problems that comes along with it.
Yeah, that's definitely something to be said.
So there's a lot of, even like, it was always generally older guys that would bring that up, but now even younger guys like our age are starting to see that sometimes mechanical is the better avenue for the application that it's going to be in.
Right. Yeah, no, that makes a lot of sense. I definitely noticed that too. It's nice in a sales perspective when you got something that we have that the customer knows that, like, yeah, I'm going to keep this and we're going to be able to have this running for a long time.
Yep.
And sometimes when you got too much going on, that's just more stuff to go wrong. So.
Exactly. A lot of that goes too with just taking care of maintaining things too. Some people are better at it than others. That's just the way of the world, I guess.
Yep, definitely maintenance would go a long way. I mean, we even found that out here with, running the shop. I mean, yeah, you're all fine and dandy when you're building a bunch of stuff, but you still got to stop and do regular maintenance on the machines that we use and the equipment that we use.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of times you take it for granted. You buy machinery to use in this building to make your jobs easier, and you take it for granted because it just works every day. Then all of a sudden, one day when it doesn't work, you're like, huh?
Yeah, it throws you a curveball.
Yeah, what do we do now? So everybody's guilty of it.
No, that's our world. So
the weirdest question at a trade show was one that I was kind of hung up on too, because I told the first one, and this is true, I had more than one person ask me if I come with the machine. When they're in there looking at it, kind of like breaking balls a little bit.
Right. That's true though. Even on the sales end of things, like, well, you're great, but who's going to stack all my firewood for me?
Right.
So do you come with the machine?
Yeah, that's kind of what I was
And I
getting
said,
at.
well, you better call your neighbor or find your kid down the find a teenage kid down the road, school kid that can stack your firewood for you.
This was a long time ago. I had somebody ask if we could, if I forget what it was, if it was a Badger or a Brute, if they could get it in hot pink for breast cancer awareness.
That's actually kind of neat you brought that up because we've done that for a few people.
Right.
Double Eagle Sawmill down in Florida.
Yep.
I'm sure I could do a shout out to CW. Right. He's got a Brute Junior. He's got an Oscar 330, and he's got an H360. He started out with the 330, then he got the H360, and then he got the Junior. And of course, I'm like, CW, why are you getting a Junior down in Florida? He goes, because I sell firewood. Okay. Campers. He goes, a lot of it's, well, not much campers. He says barbecues. He's got some local barbecue pits that get the firewood down there, so he's selling it to them.
Right, yeah, you can't overlook that. That's huge in the South.
Yeah, it's big. Barbecue's big in the South. Yeah. I like it up here too, but.
Right.
Anyway, what this was leading into is, I had a chance because, time wasn't an issue for him. We made him a nice little placket with his Double Eagle Sawmill logo on it. Yep. So it's right on the H360, Double Eagle.
I remember that one.
Yeah.
Now that you say that, I've never seen it up there.
Right, and we've done a couple other for customers. I had that guy with another H360. He's a retired vet. He lives down southern New York way, but we put like a verse on there, and he had his numbers on there.
I remember that one too.
Yep, that was pretty neat doing
we
custom
made
stuff
separate
like that.
tags that bolted right into the frame of the.
Yep.
Bolted or riveted into the frame.
Yeah, I think they're riveted right onto the frame.
Into 3x6.
Yeah. Mike Speed, that's his name. What do you think makes Hudson different than some of the other companies? You've been to some trade shows, you've seen other equipment, you've used other equipment. Mm-hmm. What's different with Hudson?
The atmosphere, I would say. I think the atmosphere carries into the equipment that we build. It's always been more of a mom and pop, maybe. I don't know. Everybody here, you don't always get along all the time, but you're like one giant family. And I think that really shows in the equipment that we build. You know what I mean?
Right.
We're all geared towards doing the same thing as far as progressing. Everybody's working for the same goal.
Yeah.
And I think it really reflects into the stuff we build.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome. Yeah. Working for the customer and end game product. And
right.
Yeah. I know we're not perfect. No company's perfect. I don't care what anybody tells you. No one's going to have a perfect track record. But I would say we have a lot more people that are happy with our service, happy that we answer the phone and come to us on a one-on-one level.
Exactly. That's kind of
versus just a number.
That's kind of the family atmosphere that I was talking about too, because just like you said, no company's perfect, no family's perfect either. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, you're still a unit, and you do what needs to be done to get things fixed and straightened out and try to make people happy.
Yeah. Yeah, that's awesome. All right. Well, thanks again, Eric.
Very
it was
good.
a pleasure. Chop it up on Hudson, and we'll see you guys next time.